Hello and welcome to your in-depth forecast for week commencing the 17th of January for the Sun or the Ascendant. As ever, I'm going to give you a broad overview of what to expect this week before diving deep and sharing in forensic detail for each of the 12 zodiac signs what is in store. So this week begins with a very potent full moon in the sign of Cancer. The sign of Cancer is governed by the moon. So the moon being here is, if you like, in its home birth. But this opposition with the sign of Capricorn is very marked because in Capricorn, Pluto, the planet of change, is very closely tethered to the Sun, and therefore the moon's in an opposition to Pluto as well as the Sun. When the moon and Pluto are in the mix in an opposition, that can create a polarization, and it can be quite difficult to find a balance. Now the moon's asking us to stay mindful as we punch our way towards our goals, ambitions and targets, very Capricorn energy, and very much the physical world. The Cancerian energy is reminding us that we must stay in touch with how it feels, and if something feels not so comfortable, even if it's given us some form of success or progress, just to try to reconfigure things so things are a little bit better aligned. And this energy will last for the next 2 weeks. If you'd like to know more about the full moon, you can join me for my deep dive video by seeing the link beneath this show. But all this week, Mars is actually forging a very positive link to Pluto, so we have a semi-sextile, and that's very energizing. Mars continues in the sign of Sagittarius, but there's 3 of the more draining, enervating vibe of Neptune, which really was affecting it quite badly for the previous 10 days. So I think energy can generally be a lot better. Also, Uranus has gone direct. Uranus has been in a very jagged, abrasive right angle with Saturn, and the great news is as the Sun moves on Thursday into the sign of Aquarius, the right angle between the 2 rulers of Aquarius, traditional Saturn, modern Uranus, actually stretches out to 4 degrees. Now when I do the sun sign forecast, I always take into account influences within 3-degree orb. So that's a very precise influence. So they're starting to stretch apart now, and they really have caused immense impact over the last year and given us quite a few sleepless nights, made us more agitated, perhaps seen us quite frustrated by the restrictions that may have been imposed upon us. But now things will ease a little bit. But the Sun moving into the sign of Aquarius joins up with Saturn, but also with the retreating Mercury, still in that retrograde. So the Sun moving into this area can mitigate some of the snags that Mercury in Aquarius in retrograde can create. So if there has been some tensions around friendships, or perhaps we just haven't heard from someone, perhaps we've been preoccupied with those more worldly aims and ambitions, then what the Sun's saying is that it's very important to stay joined together with others. Now as the week draws to a close, it's the Sun's turn to be in a semi-sextile, but this time with Jupiter. Jupiter, of course, has only recently left the sign of Aquarius the last 3 days of last year, so it moved back into its home zone of Pisces, but it's actually beautifully aligned to the Sun as this week draws to a close. So there may be some good news that we're not expecting. Perhaps someone we haven't heard from for some while is going to be in contact, or a good deed can come in our direction, or perhaps it's going to be us who does something more altruistic for another person. This is also a week when Venus, the planet of love, but also of loot, forges a very promising link with Uranus. If this rings a bell, it's because Venus is retreated in its retrograde to the point of reactivating its 120-degree enabling trine with the rather erratic energies of Uranus. But this is just saying to us, look, if we can think outside the box when it comes to our resources, and perhaps also our relationships, to try to enliven them with some freshness, then that's a smart thing to do. Now, if you're new to my channel, I would be honoured if you would subscribe. Please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. You can also get your free daily written horoscope fired to your device each morning by seeing the link beneath this video. Or if you'd like to order your 12-month forecast and get your character analysis based on your personal astrology, you can do so and get 30% off by seeing the link below. But please stay with me for your in-depth zodiac sign forecast. Hello Virgo, and welcome to your in-depth forecast for week commencing the 17th of January. Because of the full moon at the start of this week, you could be very much in demand. Yes, in terms of your social life, it may be quite early in the year. We may still be feeling a bit penned in with the changes in our localities to different type of restrictions. But for you, this is a full moon which makes you want to feel recognised and connected, and perhaps romantically even adored. But because your ruler Mercury is in retrograde and the Sun moves later this week into your 6th house to join up with Saturn and Mercury, more practical issues are starting to develop after what has been a very bubbly period for you. And of course Venus is still in a very affectionate area, and it is forging a great link with Uranus, which goes direct on Tuesday. So something completely unexpected can still break around your social, romantic situation. But I think in an ongoing tie or an ongoing friendship, life's realities and the need to get a bit more back into a routine, perhaps after the festivities, and because the astrology has been very, very uplifting for you and your sign, I think your natural instincts to make things ordered and work and give you a tangible evidence of progress, that part of your nature is going to be coming much more to the fore as this week draws to a close.